Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Leashed On, a podcast where I'm leashed onto a certain topic for 15 minutes or more. You might be asking, Priscilla, why are you in a hot dog costume? To answer your question, I'm on my way to a Halloween party. But I thought, why not make a podcast episode before I go to said Halloween party? And then upload it after said Halloween party. So this will be uploaded to my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel isn't updated, but I know if you've listened to my audio podcast episodes, I've been saying, or I've been mentioning that I'm gonna get on medication, and here I am. I've been taking it for about a week now. I definitely feel the serotonin booming or whatnot, but gosh, has these past couple days been a little rough. This podcast is usually supposed to be me giving other people advice, but the days that I usually go through hardships, I say my problem and then give myself advice. So if you're going through the same problem as me, you can take my advice because I'll take my advice, but at first I need to set out my problem. So one of my biggest issues right now is I'm noticing myself self-sabotaging, and to recap for my YouTube channel, because I talk about it a lot on my audio podcast, but my podcast is heavily inspired by Emma Chamberlain's Anything Goes podcast. Hers is Anything Goes, mine is Leashed On, so I'm leashed on to a certain topic, while hers is just goes. So I guess I could talk about self-sabotaging today. I think today's advice is where I'm going to give self-sabotaging. While we were talking, where's my phone? Hold on, I can't see jack with this. Oh, my phone's in my pocket. I'm not giving you guys the wrong definition. Let's see what self-sabotaging is. So self-sabotaging is, is the act of hindering your own goals. It's how some people cope with low self-esteem, fear of failure, or a perceived lack of control. Some people, who are self-sabotagers may procrastinate, not prepare for important events, refuse to ask for help, set unrealistic goals, perfectionism, XYZ, feel shame, guilt, and frustration. And I know in my podcast I have talked about me feeling very guilty and just shame for doing things for me, or feeling a lot of shame for feeling a certain way, or not exactly letting myself feel my feelings. So if you're listening to this and you seem to kind of be suffering with one of the symptoms I just listed prior, let's talk about it. Let me help you through it, and hopefully I can gain some clarity in my situation as well. I'm gonna be a little vulnerable here. My mind isn't letting me be happy. I'll tell myself, I love this, and then my mind's like, no, you don't. And so I've kind of been at war with myself. I'm doing these things that I love, but that I know that I love, or I want to love, and there's just this nagging voice that's like, why are you doing this? You don't love this. Like, leave it alone. They don't love you. And it's like, whoa, where is this coming from? And I have found myself guilty to believing the voices. Not exactly the voices, but just more like listening and hearing them out. But it's like one biggest factor I've realized is your thoughts are going to be thoughts. Thoughts are going to come and go. Feelings are going to come and go. And although this is something I've been struggling for a couple of days, it feels like the let it go is really not going to happen. But another big thing with things like self-sabotaging or any personal issues is you've got to let time pass. And I'm one impatient bitch. So for me to sit here and tell myself, let time pass, pisses me off, because I hate letting time pass. Why can't I just have it now? Why can't I just control it now, be good now, and pretend nothing happened? But that's the thing. Sometimes you do really, not even sometimes, most situations you need to let time heal. You need to get over things. I have a bad habit of holding grudges and not letting things go. So when in the now, in this present moment, in reality, I go to do something with said person who may have hurt me, I still have this grudge, or I still have this resentment. Even if it's tiny or minuscule, I can still find it subconsciously getting in the way of me and their relationship, because I can't let this go. And no offense, they can reassure me all they want, or I can hinder my emotions all I want, but at the end of the day, you just really do have to let time pass. And that's one of those things that suck, because you want it now. You want a good relationship with the person now, or you want a good relationship with yourself now, but it's like, you really can't have it now if you're not over some things. If you need to do a lot of reflecting, that shit takes time. And how much time? That's the unknown part. That's the scariness part, I guess, is you don't know how much time it's going to take. And kind of saying that you need to take time is like almost setting a future goal of just like, okay, you're going to wait this out, you're going to feel everything, you're going to go through the mess of it, but you're going to go through the mess of it so when you come out on the other end, you can look back and be like, wow, that took me XYZ amount of time to get over, but I gave myself that time, and I respected myself and loved myself enough to give myself that time. And I think one of the biggest things is when you can, being aware of anything is always the first good step. Being aware you made a mistake, being aware that you did wrong, being aware that you're not over something, being aware you might be self-sabotaging, just being aware is already the first step. Okay, I know what my problem is, what now? Most problems, like the second thing would be going out to seek advice. I come on here and give myself advice, and so in getting a bit of support, you also got to realize, okay, now I'm gonna set the initiative to take time. I have this problem, and I'm aware it's gonna take longer than a day, longer than 24 hours to get over. And I think one of my personal biggest intruders of things like this is my phone. I hate to admit that, but one of my bad habits is I just get addicted to my phone, and especially in my opinion, things like TikTok are quite literally really bad for your mental, because I'll go on TikTok and when I'm hurt, my whole For You page is cultivated to quotes or things that, you know, you would see when you're hurt, like, oh, fuck them and glow up, enter your winter arc, XYZ, like kind of things like that makes you want to like get up and get your life together. But you're seeing this when you're hurt, so you're resonating with it. This is the mentality you're picking up, and it's just like, especially I've never had a mentality that is like fuck everybody. Like, as much as I hold grudges, I still want to forgive, and I still love to love. I still love very loudly. That is a part of me that makes me who I am, and I know that of myself. So for me to kind of just be like, why am I self-sabotaging? Why can't I let myself be happy? It's like, what the fuck? I live to be fun. I live to be happy. I live for love. So it's like, why the fuck am I crashing down? Why am I raining on my own parade? And so I find myself going on TikTok, and all these quotes and all these mindsets people have just clash, and I'm picking up a little bit of everybody, and I'm believing all these other people's mentalities instead of building one of my own with my own experiences. But it's just like, oh my gosh, that's right, I shouldn't tolerate that disrespect. Oh my gosh, that's right, I should never let them into my life. And it's like, I've never had a mentality like that to begin with, so it's like, for me to be so open-minded to these type of mentalities is also so scary, because I'm like, whoa, what the fuck, anything can change my mind. That's kind of scary. Why is my mind so like mendable? And that kind of scares me myself a little bit. So I've deleted TikTok as of now. I've told myself I'm gonna give myself until Christmas to get TikTok back, so I really hope I can stand on that business and fulfill that goal of not having TikTok until Christmas. But you know, with all this and me realizing, is one of the things that I'm realizing is I think I'm scared to be comfortable. And I've got a quote pulled up from someone really important to me in my life who told me, and I think this is a beautiful metaphor. They said, then maybe stop bringing an umbrella to the beach just because it could rain. Start bringing a swimsuit. It's a really good fucking metaphor. Like, I literally jizzed in my pants when I read that. I was like, whoa, that is really good. And it's pretty much just saying, like, since I am scared to be uncomfortable, or I'm too scared to get comfortable, instead of preparing for the worst, or like, I'm going to the beach, oh my god, it's gonna fucking rain, I'm gonna bring an umbrella, oh my gosh, I'm gonna bring all these things so I don't get wet, instead of just trying to avoid getting wet because it's almost inevitable, embrace being wet. Go actually out of your way to get wet. And I guess my biggest thing of being scared of being comfortable is just, one of those TikTok mentalities I picked up was nothing lasts forever. This happy now, I'm not gonna be happy forever. It'll be like a funny haha trend when people are like, when I'm having a good time with my friends, but I realize like this is gonna be a memory. Like, why the fuck do you have to put that in my head? Get out my head. So why does that have to scare me? And I would have never thought something like that if it weren't for TikTok. And like another good example was I kind of went through a situation, and at first I just saw the situation as like, okay, this crossed my boundary. I go on TikTok, and like weirdly enough, the situation I went through, like some other people kind of went in the same thing but different fonts, and they peeped it as cheating. And so ever since like I saw that, I kind of had a mentality where it's like, oh fuck, like was that what happened? Was this just a cross boundary? XYZ, like TikTok's calling it cheating. Oh my gosh, like I'm tripping. Like, what if it is that? And so then I started to pick it up that and then believe like, oh my gosh, what happened to me was that. But then when I really think about it, it was really just a boundary overstepped, and it kind of had me have like a bit of a grudge again against this person that, like, no offense, like, you're gonna cross people's boundaries, I'm gonna cross people's boundaries. It's normal to cross boundaries. Is it okay? No, but it is normal. Like, it happens. I know there's been people who have cut me off because I've crossed their boundaries. There's been people who I've had to have uncomfortable conversations because I've crossed their boundaries, and vice versa. I've had to cut some people off and stuff like that. But it's like, I'm trying to strive away from cutting off, because that's another bad habit of mine, is if you hurt my feelings, if you do something wrong, if I set a boundary and you cross it, or you disrespect me in any way, like, I'm just so quick to cut off. And again, like on TikTok, that's such a good thing. Like, TikTok will encourage you to do that. TikTok will be like, yes, do that, you do that, like, freak those people who cross your boundaries. But it's like, we're human, and like, especially some people's mentalities, like, oh my gosh, rules are meant to be broken. Like, that's what my art teacher told me my freshman year, and I'll never forget it. And I sometimes like pick up like, ooh, if I want to be mysterious, I'm gonna go break a rule. Ooh, I'm gonna jaywalk. So knowing that, like, some people do have the mentalities of like rules are meant to be broken, they see boundaries as like rules or these like strict things set against them, and so they want to cross them even more because it's unfair. And although like that's normal, is the actual crossing and hurting somebody else's feelings good and normal? No. But the mentalities, and sometimes some people don't have the full story, so they still do it not knowing the full story. There's so many different things that can come in and influence why somebody does what they do, and they could be justifiable, but just because it's justifiable doesn't mean that your feelings need to be like deleted. Like, oh, it's okay, so fuck how I feel. No. And so I let myself kind of still, like, I buried my feelings since the hatchet was buried, or I forgave them. But it's like, shit, I'm really not over it. And again, it's one of those things that you kind of need to let time take its course, because like, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm letting time take its course. And like, some moments I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm over it. And then sometimes I'll think about it, like, am I really though? And it's not fair for me to put another person through like my ups and downs when it's even fucking stressful for myself. So I think when you can realize that you're in bouts of self-sabotaging, love me, my person A and person B, or path A, path B. Path A, if you're not in any big commitments, I think the best moment for things like self-sabotaging is a bit of isolation. I know that's what I've been doing lately, kind of just pulling back and like, okay, let's invest some time into me. Let me like commit some things towards me. Like, I still do, extracurricular activities. I still have friends. I still have, interpersonal relationships and stuff like that. I still have a family. But I'm definitely learning how to put more time into me. And, like, if I'm upset, letting myself feel it. If I feel something funny, as soon as something happens and my instant reaction, is, like, something funny, to say it. Being honest how I feel, even if it hurts somebody else's feelings. Like, just kind of almost putting yourself first. And for me, like, that's really scary because I hate being selfish, I hate being arrogant, I hate being cocky. I like to be very selfless because I'm with myself already so much, but it's like I also haven't been that much with myself. And so I think if you're going to follow path A, it is okay to put that time into you, whether that's like going back into things that you love and do those things without feeling judged, or don't put yourself around people who's going to judge you for it, doing things that you want to do. If that's completely like distracting yourself, do stuff like that. I always say don't do things like bad habits or start up an addiction just because you're going through something. But definitely like get yourself distracted in your own means. If that's studying, do that. If that's playing video games, do that. Like whatever hobbies, definitely like click and be more in tune with yourself. I think journaling is amazing. I have been picking up journaling, and do I read back at them? No, but one of my favorite quotes is, I write to forget, but read to remember. So my biggest thing is like, I'm just writing it out to get it out of my mind, to like feel it in the moment. And if I ever wanted to remember how I felt, I'll go back and read it. But I don't like reading what I wrote. I just write it, shut the book, good night. When I pick it back up, I don't read the last page. I just keep writing. Will I ever read back in my journals? No. And I've had 3 journals in my whole life, and I've thrown away 2, and I still have 1. And the one that I have is I'm still using to this day. Got them for my birthday, actually. So with that being said, path B is definitely a more like kind of like you realize yourself sabotaging, and you keep putting yourself through those situations, or keep trying to like strive through it, like, oh, I know I'm self-sabotaging, but I can still do it. I can still pick up these big commitments. I can still do all these things, pick up so many projects, enter a relationship, and do all this stuff, but you know that you can't, because you know that some part in you doesn't feel ready for it, doesn't feel like you're worthy of it. Some part of you knows that you're gonna mess it up, whether it's in the beginning or in the middle or the end. You know that you're gonna come in your own way of your parade. You're gonna rain on your own parade, is what I was saying earlier. And first of all, admitting something like that's scary. I couldn't come to terms for the longest that I was insecure, and then I came to the terms, I was like, shit, I can feel insecure about some things. And then I also hated to come to terms that I self-sabotage. Nobody wants to fucking say that they get in their own way. When you really think about it, why? Why do you have to get in your own way? I don't know. I just do. So definitely don't take up path B. I mean, you don't have to fully isolate. I'm not saying go be a popular loner, go be in your own world, fuck everybody. But it's just definitely one of those things that if you need to just pull away some time, people will still be there to support you. Like, people who choose you and want to be in your life and really, really love you will understand that you are taking space away from them. It may hurt. Okay, and this is the only time I would say it's okay to be a little selfish, because you need to take apart from them to take care of yourself, to be better for them. Whether that is a relationship or that is your friendships, you are doing this for you, and you are coming to a point where it's like, fuck, I am not me, and if I continue doing things that I'm doing right now, I'm going to continue them as a stranger, as someone who is not me, and it's going to stress me out. It brings a war to your mind. I'm not happy with myself. I'm doing things that should make me happy, but I'm not happy, and I'm getting in my own way. So it's okay to be alone. It's okay to pull back and be like, fuck, I just need chill. I need to figure out what's going on in my own world so I don't mess up other things. Because I know myself, like me personally, I'll start drama just because I'm so unhappy with myself. Like, it's true. When people say, like, unhappy people start drama, it's fucking true. Like, it is true. Like, you know, when people hate you so bad, you're the only thing on their mind, that is completely true. Like, there are some things I hate, and as soon as I hear their names, like, my jaw is literally clenching, my toes are curling, like, I'm fuming. And it's like, why am I letting something that I supposedly dislike so much have so much control over me? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this time can be used good for self-reflecting, but the thing that sucks is just you don't know how long the time is going to be. That's where you just kind of have to trust yourself and guide yourself through the time. And the more that you can let go of the urge of waiting and seeing how much time it is and actually living through the time, it'll make the time actually go faster. There's a saying that time goes faster when you don't think about it. You picking up what I'm putting down? But anyways, guys, there goes my washer load. I've got a Halloween party to get to, but just kind of wanted to stop by and have a little podcast episode before, you know, I have a spooktacular weekend. I hope this helped you guys, and for my YouTube subscribers, this is my first official podcast episode, but to my podcast subscribers, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I'll see you later.